Yo, back again. Figured I'd just jump on. I don't know if I'm here for a good time or a long time or both. We'll find out. Yeah, largely because my voice is just trash. I mean, it could be good for doing like a smooth jazz station or something. It's like on the verge of going out, and it went out yesterday towards the end of the day, so I don't know. Hey, you can see hear it cracking. Um, But yeah, I figured I'd just jump on, kind of do like AMA, whatever. I've been just doing that singer motion, and I think it's kind of breaking my brain right now. Um, and so I'm just gonna kind of take a pause, and then I'm working on um, kind of articulating everything I've been doing for myself and my own brand, and consolidating it in one sort of story. Potentially using it as templatized versions for like brand books for whoever I end up working for. Because I think that's been coming up as like they see my book and like, do you do branding? And besides my own stuff, not really. So um, yeah, it'd be good to kind of show something. And I think for me, I had mentioned this on one of the last streams, talking about developing some of the motion for for the brand, for the stream, for all that stuff. Like I'm kind of just flying blind, just having fun with plugins, and that's great and all, but I don't think it serves a purpose to kind of like I think it'll get within the realm that I want, but without kind of sitting down and thinking about it, there's really I don't know. It feels like a just kind of missed opportunity to do something strategic and kind of measure twice, cut once sort of thing. Um, Whereas my own stuff, it's usually don't measure and cut a million times and see what the fuck happens. So I'm just gonna jump right in. And yeah, kind of AMA ask me anything. I don't know how much I'll be able to talk today. I'm gonna try and brave it out. Um, I'll probably be muting a lot because of like hacking up a lung or something, which is great for streaming. You're welcome. Usually it's just the complaining you get for free, but now you get like coughing and wheezing and cracking voice. Um, but yeah, so this is kind of where I'm at right now. So bird's eye view, I'm just trying to come up with I'm kind of collecting things, kind of putting some thoughts to things in terms of like what I want to say. So talking through like the inspiration of kind of like how I got to where I did, going through the results and all the different applications of it. I don't really know how I'm going to tell this story, how in depth I want to get. I think this is going to be something I want to put on my website as kind of like a, it's on my site. Maybe I should bring up. Let's see. I mean, it's not really that important, but I might as well just have a visual for it and just get to my iPad. Um, where is it? Chrome browsing. And then because this never remembers anything, just gotta find it. This guy. Um, so right now I have all these originals that are like listed out um in this sort of view. Or no, I'm thinking actually, this isn't really that different. So just in the same way as I have all these different products, I think my brand is kind of its own product page, so to speak. Um, so it'll live somewhere within here, um, but it'll be just like a full in-depth case study, kind of talking about all the different touch points. Because I think it's been a really interesting exercise, um, thinking about how I brand myself and kind of where that's gone and like sort of depths and shit that's gone to. But there's really no like organizing function. I've touched on it before that there's all these different um like logo usages and different forms that my brand takes, but there's not really like someone from the outside looking in doesn't see this. I don't really use this, so I think I should put something together that's a bit more um realistic to whatever my brand is and where it's gone. Um, and so I want to my goal is to have this image figured out by the end of it, and something that makes more sense. Like, I don't think it's that far off. I think kind of, so the tenets of my brand, so to speak, is it's editorial, cinematic, classic, and yet progressive. And that's kind of like the target words I put up for myself. And this is like the same inspo, but I think this starts falling within that realm. So it's not, what I've been doing is not going to be totally different. It's just I need like a clear line of everything that ladders up, because anyone who's going to look at me as someone to potentially do branding, they'll probably want to understand that, the thinking behind it. So I'm doing some kind of low level brain function right now. So I'm coming up with all the different color palettes and how I want to um, represent my palette. So this might be, this is part of the deal when it comes to branding. So it might not be the most exciting, um, but this is branding and ghost rectangles that just, oh, up there, doing there. You go. Okay, whatever. So yeah, this is gonna be based on. So I did something similar back in the day, in terms of like a branding exercise I did. So I want to use that as a base and then look to modify it a little bit. And I'm also building this in Sketch, so it's all using symbols, which I think will be very helpful. So it's really going to be just a matter of overrides. And if I end up deciding that I want to update the way I'm representing any of these things like RGB values, CMYK, I can just modify it once and it carries on throughout. And you can see like I'm already trying to, so when you do this stuff, it helps to stress test it. So if you're doing numeric values, type in zeros for the highest values you can get. Although technically CMYK, I know it's 0 to 100, but better safe than sorry. The only thing I don't know if my version of Sketch is too old, but you're supposed to be able to make um, like responsive symbols. That's what I wanted to look up. Sketch responsive symbol. So like if something changes in terms of like if it goes from, if it's like the cyan value is 1, and then like, but I have it set, like the spacing set for 3 characters, like I'm pretty sure I can adjust that. God, dude, voice is cracking. So um like I don't know if that means just like condensing the symbol itself. I've seen it adjust that way, but I wish there was like a smarter way so I don't have to get into messing about with the size of it. Smart resizing in Sketch. Me.
In this video, we're going to talk about
Oh,
resizing options in Sketch. Now, these are amazing options which are going to enable you to
okay. 20
rectangle spin.
minutes.
So basically, this is going to top. And by the way, as you can see, you can basically add multiple pins. So in this case, add it to the top. And it's going to be great if you're using
Then
writing
pin to
on
the
time.
sides.
So I'm going to create this rectangle text and I'm just going to
Like this
right
is getting into
here
what I want.
add
Okay.
drop it. So I really love
Thank you
the
for
left and not move. The
being
very
so
first thing that I
deliberate.
want to do is to group them. Now the reason being the width is not fixed. So I'm going to select this group again, and I'm going to fix the
The width
size.
is not fixed.
So as I try this again, you
Sorry,
can see that the size is fixed and
I'm an
that
idiot.
we are in good shape. Now I'm going to do the same for this text right here. I'm going to pin to the edge. I'm going to fix the size. And as you can see, it's now perfectly pinned on the left.
It's all like predicated on actually changing the size of symbols. So that's maybe not. I don't really care that much, if I'm being honest. I just don't like going in and modifying the size of symbols. It's not that it's like scary or anything. It's just, I don't know. Like things can get weird when you change the size of the size of symbols. Excuse me. Yeah, I gotta organize. Why are you doing that? What's that thing? Love it. So just getting my spacing all consistent. So the idea is like this just breaks down nicely um, into what's it called? Um, Smaller units, something that's repeatable. And so if I just kind of be smart about this, I can make something that will um, that'll work well for me, and something I can repeat, and something that I can leverage whenever I hopefully work on a branding project. So, the screen's flashing. I don't know. The stream's bugging out. If it is, I apologize. So, this I can even. I think I'm gonna secondary color. I don't know why. It's like my shift key sticks or something. Or I'm just special. I don't know. I'll make a symbol of this. So now I've got nested symbols, and what's nice about this is like if my color palette expands, like I don't think I'm gonna want anything more than this. Um, Only thing I don't know is if I can modify colors. I can. X of what? Hmm. Hmm. Well, I've never done color overrides of items within a symbol. I've done symbols and then done, you can do tints to things down here, but that affects everything. Um, I don't know if there's a way to do it. Modify color of element side symbol. Is it just creating overrides, or am I bugging out? I've like got so many different places in terms of like Webflow and Figma where you have sketch or components and what you can override. Um, Overriding.
Hey everyone, it's Joseph from Envision, and
It's
if you're anything
Joseph.
like me, you use symbols in
Hi,
Sketch
Joseph.
every chance you get for any
Every
element you may be
chance.
reusing multiple times in your document. And in
All
this
the
case, we
time.
have this pricing table that differentiate these by changing the colors. And rather than wishing that it's pink, and now I've got my swatch turned into a symbol. And I'll get it
Oh,
selected, and I'll
I
change
have
the
done
color, of
this.
course, to...
So, yeah, bringing back memories. So if I want to do that, not desktop, sketch. So if I want to do that, I basically have to make symbols out of each of these individual colors, um, which isn't ideal, but that's okay. Shouldn't be too bad. Why is middle gray not overridable? Am I losing my mind? So let's say, so if I go to mass to this, then secondary swatch. And so this would be something I can do. I'll just like if let's say I use this for a different brand, I'll just create a duplicate and then I can modify all these. So I'll do secondary swatch / red. So then I'll go back brand guide. So I just changed my red, more like an orangish now. Been meaning to do that, so this is kind of a nice, good reason to do it. So red. So as long as these are the same size, so that's the thing it looks for. So if you have nested symbols, I think you have to have the slash in the name, and it definitely has to be the same size if you're going to swap it. So let's say middle gray. See, I need to modify. So my library is actually incorrect too. On here. I got my iPad hooked up as my second display, and it's just cooking so hot, I don't think it can keep up. It's like right around like 10%, and it just gave me a warning of low battery, although it's plugged in. It's fun. Also, middle gray, it's actually right here. And you know what? I was smart about this. So I tried to make these not at opacity, which kind of is what it is. I'm trying to think if there's a way I can just make all of them at once. I mean, if I use opacity, I definitely can. I just don't know of a way that's going to modify all of them. Unless I don't know, maybe I'm not thinking about this correctly. If I think about it all as one background piece, let's say this is like, what's the point? Like, why am I even creating symbols? It's really, I guess, if I want to modify the layout. Otherwise, it's just as easy for me to just go like duplicate. This is like where symbols, like, they're useful, but there are diminishing returns of like why over systemize things. Like, what are you really trying to gain out of doing it? One thing I could do is if I make this whole thing a symbol, okay, width 355, 5. If I set this to original size, and then these are 105, 50, 80, 60, 40, 20. So just for consistency's sake. Oh no, these should all be this color. So I should be able to do a color override if I make this the symbol and then the copy a symbol. I wonder if that's my best way of doing it. Secondary swatch red. So if I just drop these in, yeah, this might. If I steal the name off of this, gray, all of these, pretty easy. Though I don't know what that like misalignment was, but oh god, should hit the mute button. I'm sorry. Yeah, not gonna be the most energetic today either. I apologize. I'm trying. Trying to be consistent with this streaming. I wonder if I get rid of secondary swatch slash red. All the secondary color text. Secondary color swatch slash red. Secondary color swatch, middle gray. And if I insert symbol, secondary color swatch red. Oh, if I create a symbol. Okay, this is like really ass backwards way to do this. I'm actually gonna not do that way. Sorry, I'm like thinking this through. I've never done something like this, although it shouldn't be that hard. For me, it is. Where the fuck did that thing? Oh, it's right here. Oh, good. So it's all gone. And it's gone. So let's say I make a... What in the hell is the size of that? 355 by 250. Not a art. Get out of here. 355, 250. Make us, let's call this secondary color. And then make a symbol out of this. That should show up right here. And so this should be for that. I'm basically going to make nested symbols. Use nested symbols to control the overrides. So text, I want text on there. I also want document swatch red. There we go. So now if I go into my overview, grain guide, I have the secondary color. But there should be... Oh, it's down here. So then I have like my middle gray. It just updates everything. I mean, it kind of makes sense. I wish I could hide some of these. I think I can. I'm just not. Not thinking about it. I think there's a way to organize the order too. Yeah, but at least like this is a system that works. So, and if it's, let's say I want to make another one, symbols. So I have like light gray. So this is overview. What's this? F0 is like almost a background color. Symbols, so then I can take all these. Do that. And then thinking about it, one other thing I could do, probably easier, if I'm being honest, is to just do an override or like a tint. So I have, actually no. Never mind. Forget I said that. Like gray. So then I probably just need to make a dark version as well. Text light. You know what? I think I'd rather do tint on the copy. I think I want them as two separate actually. Just more control. I think I'll get locked into sorry, this is kind of the process that my brain goes through of just thinking through all the different use case. Yes. So text. Okay. Grand overview. Not all these gone. All right. So where I'm going to get this right. Document, secondary color, EG. Then on top of that, we'll go document text. So this I can just do a simple alignment, but then this way I can also can add a tint. And so I can make this color anything I want versus being locked in and creating multiple instances. I think that's technically the right way to do it, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna be in for more trouble than it's worth. With this text. Yeah, all this, yeah, these things are pretty annoying. Wait, yeah, the way it shows all the overrides, it's a little overbearing, especially when you have a lot of data points. And there's like percentages, like I don't need percentages. Like the thing I want the most is last. I don't know. So to get these values, nope. I'll just make this into a folder. I can just duplicate this. Oh, let's bring guide. These are the old colors. These might get modified. Release this background. Tint. Can pull from there. I forgot you can just double click on these things and modify them this way. No, don't do that. Dark, gray. Oh, yeah, I was gonna add the tint first. So I've had these like off, like, I don't know the best way to describe them. Yeah, I wonder if we do it this way. It's text. Yeah. This is the red, and then this will be accent. Well, I don't need to name it accent. That's kind of stupid. But what I was looking at, down here, this color, I think it goes well with the, like with the bright orange. It's kind of like that complementary color sort of tension. So these, like, I think that works out nicely. This, just like a little bit of extra contrast to it. Oh, where'd you go? Copy that. That's been my like supreme workaround. Oh, I just did like a wholesale deletion. So one thing I do in terms of like navigating undo history is I'll copy something that I know I like that I just made, but then I'll go back through history and the undo, get to the point that I like, make the correction, and then paste the end result that I know I liked. It's like me deleting this. I'm still able to keep what I just did. It wasn't a ton of work, but you know, all this kind of shit adds up over time. And so one thing I do want to have is sort of like overall gradients. Color. Let's see. Seems awfully dark. No, that's right. So if I want to have gradations between these, so I will just this. I want to have all this text or data is what I'll call this. All this opacity. So there's another thing, like, kind of fucked up already. Like, I'm better about these secondary colors. I wasn't so good about the primary colors. Just like being smart about naming and just doing the legwork before replicating. Like, I know it's exciting to you know, get everything right and looking good, but just holding off for a second. It's very useful. Saves yourself time in the end. I'll just add a tint. Take it off. What colors? Here. And I'll go in and add in all like the RGB values, the CMYK. That's not super important right now. So if I think about these as one unit, so if I'm combining two colors, I might just make it twice as high, although I want it a left to right gradient. I just want to have, I don't think I need this data. Don't need that. I think if I just have the two colors. So I'm basically just going to bridge the gap between these two and just show like which colors I want to potentially have gradients between. I don't know if this is one of them or not, but just showing this. I don't know. It's kind of interesting color, I guess. Group that as one gradient. I can extend this out to kind of just like fill just to like bridge the gap between the colors. So if this is this, so I want this to red, this to dark. I don't see myself ever wanting that one. I mean, I don't think gradients are a huge part of my brand to start with, so this might be kind of a fool's errand, but like this I definitely see happening. Tint off. Yeah, I don't really see that. That's kind of getting into like a a hipster gradient that I don't think I can live up to. Checking a couple things real fast. Sweet. So colors, pretty well established. I don't have to worry about that too much. Conditioning on. This Mac Pro is just cooking. It's only like 73 outside. Trying to think where to go. I've been kind of uncomfortable with the idea of doing this on stream because I'm just so unsure of like where to start, where to like backpedal. Um, I think it's a lot of like collecting what I've done so far, and then like after that part of the story, having like the branding breakdown. I think this definitely fits into part of that story. So I don't know if that's really the best way to do this, but I'm really speaking to the color palettes there, but do I need to see all these different instances of the logos on different colors, different color combinations? Don't look at that at all. Um, yeah, kind of torn. I think it's important to show all these other iterations of it too. But these are just like explorations more than anything at this point. I'm reticent to commit too far to that. Yeah, I mean, I think I just got some thinking to do. Like what? Because I have the JW.S, which is like, I don't know, I'm starting to like that more as like a proper, like that's my word mark almost, but it's almost responsive depending on the application. So it just drops the .s. I've thought about doing that on the website, but now the logo's boxed in on the website, so I don't know if I really have the luxury of doing that. The question is, how do I convey that? That. So if I keep my colors here, I think it'd be good to have the primary logos. I think talking about the responsive nature of it, having both of these. The problem is there's also inconsistencies now between them. The weight is different. So this was done for like more logo type and like small applications when you start stress testing this stuff. Good thing to do is just look at how does it hold up when you get to small sizes. Not terrible. I actually don't mind the lighter weight. Feels better than this. And one thing I was also looking at was um, very much systemizing the spacing of everything. So it's like, what are the units of spacing? And it got me thinking about how I initially drew it and how these lines, like it was meant for this line right here. You can't see it because my cursor's this line that I keep highlighting right now, that one was setting the spacing between these two. Um, which, sure, nice in theory. This is one of those like, all right, I'm guilty. It's like the more lines, the more like deliberate it looks. My iPad might not make it. Holy fuck, it's on fire. Because I mean the variability is really around this. Because actually, you know what? I think it'd be good to just define just the responsive nature of the logo, because I think it can break down pretty far. And I never really thought about it that way. I don't know why I didn't. So I think getting like the full logo kind of tight, feeling good about it, and then I'll show you what I mean in a second. So I can just specify applications for each one. And this is like, it's good to show potential collaborators and clients, um, but it's also good to, I'm gonna have to turn this off. Hopefully I don't lose you when I do this, but let's check it out. I'm gonna disconnect my iPad. Since I'm doing everything in Sketch right now. I don't have to do like desktop browsing. So maybe I'll let that go for a little bit, get a little charge going, and then see what happens. But I think having like a responsive system, I always like that. Like I've seen a couple people do that with their branding, like you have responsive web, why not have responsive branding? It kind of makes sense. And I think with with where this is at, I think I mentally see a way for this to break down quite well. Um, so I really kind of go back and forth in terms of like what the right spacing approach is for this. Um, I get the inclination that I should be very like, oh, this here's 1x. Because you see everyone do it. It's like, okay, the height of the logo is X, then you have your safe space that's half X, quarter X, and um, all these fucking measurements. And it's like, you know, I don't know. I kind of trust my eye more than anything. I think like having the safe space and all that shit, like, yeah, I'm all for systemizing that and being very precise, but like the font, so these characters are based on my font, which I eyeball the fuck out of. Like, you're probably gonna find like the S looks thicker than the J already from here. So does it matter that my spacing is 1,000% accurate, or the spacing between here is like exactly or half or three quarters the spacing? Like one of those things, like I don't know. You just find a lot of branding people just love to just like artificially inject all this meaning and structure in something that like oh, I see the point in it. Like not everyone's gonna know what they are looking at from a technical standpoint. I get that. But I definitely think people have gone too far and have indulged the shit out of themselves by like in the name of like technical um I don't know, technical bullshitting, they're able to just like justify doing all sorts of stuff, which I don't really believe in. And so this is like if I match it 1 to 1, I think I did this the other day. It just doesn't, it feels like it feels rigid all of a sudden. Don't know why. I don't like it. I don't want to do that. Like maybe this spacing, there's no way that spacing's ever gonna. I think I could do. What if I? Oh, what blend mode are you on, buddy? Come on, buddy. What? What if I took the average? This is some branding type shit. 65 plus 33, 98. 98 divided by 2, 49. So if I'm taking the average gap, well, that's what it currently is. So this actually doesn't make any fucking sense. Me trying to be a stupid asshole is backfiring already, so let that be a lesson. Don't be a stupid asshole like me. And this should really be done in Illustrator. I'm gonna be precise and get like very clean edges, like should not be farting about in good old sketch for vector forms. But here we are. Yeah, is that? It's now it's in that like weird like middle ground. Because I do want it, so if you don't know, I guess I can do it quick. There's duality to what to that logo. So here's my stupid little breakdown that I did after. Maybe I should just explain what the logo is. I don't know. It just seems like a slash, but there's more meaning to it. And I know one person caught on to it. So the J is my name. Slash, so it's multidisciplinary. Like that's kind of where the slash to me invokes is like it's kind of multiples. It also implies movement. That's kind of like a wankish. Like, that's exactly what I was just saying. It's just like infusing artificial meaning. Like it's angular, it does imply movement. I'm just kind of embellishing that. Did I really think about that? Kind of, not really. Um, I think most of my thought was around. So the V's for my real last name. Newsflash, shocker, Way is not my last name, but it is a family name. So um, my real name is. I learned this out when I was shooting. I was swimming and shooting at pipe, and I got the shot of some guy, and he was just like so stoked. It's like, oh, did you get that? Like, yeah, 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 I got that one. He's like, all right, sick. Like, well, what's your name? And I said it. He's like, what? Fuck. Uh, I just like gave him like mnemonic devices to try and remember it. He never found me on Instagram. So it was one of those things where it's like even the most intent person on finding me and discovering me, they couldn't do it. And granted, like he may have been a surfer, he may have been stoned out of his mind. I don't know. I'm not a dentist. I don't know these things. Um, but yeah, like that was like a spark of just like, holy fuck. Like if I want to push photography and I just want to get into like networking in general, being independent, like my real last name is not gonna cut it. So 6 characters for a full name, like fucking bingo. Not trying to do anything else with it. It's kind of like a nothing name. The more of like a nothing name I can make it, the fucking better. Um, so then breaking it down to the J, it's still my first name. The reverse slash is kind of against the grain. That's the thinking I had behind it, of just like it's like a non-traditional way, and I like to think that I try and do things non-traditionally. Whether that's true or not, I don't really know. This is the liberties I'm able to take when I'm branding myself. But the beauty of that, more importantly, is that it turns into almost a W, and it reads as both JW and J/V, which also my Instagram handle is John V Way. So it's kind of not leaving either behind. Not like it's still so weird for me to like go by a different name. I hate it. I hate like the worst. The worst is like when I have clients and they send over a contract and they put John Way, and it's that real awkward moment where it's like, oh, yeah, can you redo that contract? That's not actually my real name, legal name. So that's a fun. But yeah, so with that in mind, if I'm gonna do a responsive logo, I still think there's a good way to do it. Um, but I have to kind of decide on like whether I keep it. I think the spacing, like as subtle as it is, really influences whether you read it as JW, J/V. Um, because if I put it closer, kind of like to what the letter spacing is, I think the automatic push is towards JW, but I really want it neutral. So that's where that like it's not even to this space, it's not tight like a properly kerned character would be with a JW. It's this sort of ambiguous, I don't know. You could read it both ways. Like and that's my way of branding. I don't know if this is what I should be doing. I like putting dual meanings into my branding, where it's just like it's harmlessly open to interpretation. Either way is technically fine. And it kind of lets people, I don't know, inject their own meaning. It's like the no ISO. It reads as noise and no ISO, which is no noise. Again, probably just trying to be too clever for my own good. It only makes sense to me. You know what? I'm gonna leave that for now. I think that's decent, I would say. So what I want to do then is just have all the instances of how this breaks down. So step one, I don't know if I ever want to keep the period. I mean, the S is definitely going. Yeah, I don't want that. Okay. So then smaller applications. So this is like what you see on the website. And then breaks down to this, which then breaks down even further into the slash. But the slash, like I've done, and so this is the other thing, like I don't fully know how to reconcile. So this is kind of seen throughout, and the whole idea is that it's, I mean, I'm trying to go into and like explain things. I wrote this when I was high as hell, so I don't know if it really makes sense. But yeah, so the slash conveys multiple items, variation, angular nature conveys movement, and a slash is slightly contrarian. I forgot about that. But the whole idea is like this aesthetic of it is fully. So this is from a time when I was doing a lot of water photography, and keep that. I don't. So I was shooting, like when I shoot water photography, I like to shoot at the horizon line a lot. And if you shoot at the horizon line, you'll know, or you'll notice that there's always like distortion. There's never a clean line between what's above and what's below. It's like the example, like you stick a pencil in water, and it like the light, what's it, refracts. I don't know. Light goes at a different speed, so it looks different. I believe that's the scientific explanation, but definitely don't quote me. But yeah, so that was like, if I want to have something that's paying homage to me and myself, like, why not have a version of my branding that's maybe more kind of speaking to that, kind of an ownable characteristic, something that makes me different from, I think, most designers. I don't know a lot of designers who go out and shoot water photography, but I don't know that's necessarily something to hang my hat on and be like, um, I don't know, something to write home about or have like a distinguishing characteristic based on that. If that makes sense. Group that, all these. And you can also see the two different background colors. So actually with the most recent, say actually, like it's something significant. I gotta stop doing that. There's all those little like words like that that are just stop doing it. I'd argue actually this needs to be, so I have the full, this guy. I think once it gets past the JW, it goes here. I don't know how I'm gonna crop this. Fuck. Well, just do it for now. I have to recreate this anyways. Which is unfortunate because I didn't make it big enough. And it's kind of a time-intensive thing to do, if I remember correctly. And you can also see it's a different weight, so I have plenty of reasons why I need to redo this. Hmm? Hey. I love that tint feature sketch. Makes my life so much easier. Um, yeah, I mean it kind of works, but you can see the variance in weights, which also actually isn't terrible. So if I'm using this for tighter spaces, um, then I'm gonna want a little extra thickness, if that makes sense. Um, yeah, so I might keep the like the I think it's like the black weight of my font, which I don't really use, because it's not finished. There's all sorts of weird stuff, but hey, I used it for my logo, so that's smart. Um, I don't know if this is at all interesting or valuable to anyone, but yeah, I don't know. That's just fun. Like putting systems around things. And for me, it's putting systems around things that I just kind of did. I always thought of I wanted to think of my brand as this sort of organic thing that just it doesn't have rules, but I've kind of found that just makes it sloppy and it gets me in places where I just do whatever. And I think that's okay. I want to leave room for just being impulsive and kind of doing whatever, but I think having like really defined tenets that I want to like everything to ladder back up to, I think is important. So I'll probably add some context to this. Get rid of that. Let's for white. Well, I don't really like doing anything for white. Okay. Um, group this group card. Oh God, sound like a prepubescent boy. I tried to make my voice squeak and it just came out worse than I anticipated, so that's fine. Make sure that stays in a VOD somewhere. That's the beauty of not having any shame at this point. I feel like I'm already like that old man status of like, I don't give a fuck. Like, really don't care. Like, oh no, my voice scratched on my live stream. Oh, I'm not gonna sleep tonight. Ah, okay. I wish it didn't happen, of course, but what are you gonna do? It's taken me a long time to get to that point. It's just like, I don't know, can't sweat it too much. Um, like, I don't know. I think like putting myself out there on these streams in some way is like, uh, um, it's maybe more callous, which I don't know if that's good or bad. Um, oh, that's good. It's backwards. It's fun. Um, I think you kind of learn to get callous through the years. Like you do enough design and you go through enough critiques. I mean, my all-time favorite was hearing a CEO saying, "What am I looking at? I hate this." Oh man, so much fun. Why is that smaller than everything? What grid did I do this on? 1,500. There's some weird shit going on. No. Huh. But yeah, it very much helps to develop a thick skin in design. Can't take anything personally. There we go. What grid was this? Oh, so strange. I thought I did this right. Famous last words. I guess I could still, it doesn't. So I do want to have captions for everything. I don't know if I want it in the margins or not. Stuff like this where there's multiple instances, it's like I don't want to. I mean, maybe I do have it. Doesn't hurt to have too much meta. It's like somewhere between a logo and a word mark. Actually interesting. I haven't thought about. It's like kind of a word mark. How's about? I hope you guys hear that. The stupid bird man. I think I just need to disable my scroll wheel. All it does is just get me in trouble because I'm just so all over the place. I just feel like this just like sits out here. Rotate it -90. I swear, I was like, oh, I always do 90 and it ends up the wrong way. Uh, Kind of hard to read. Goes. Um, I do at some point want to like put rules around this of like show certain applications of this, show, I mean, it's an interesting thought of like maybe I should do this on my website, but I mean the JV scales pretty well to small sizes. It's almost like I should have, I don't know, that's gonna be too much. If I have like different, like, so I use the black weight for small sizes as a base. I use medium. I think it is, or regular. Whatever it is. No, I don't have the original one. What? I think it's medium. I have it somewhere. So I probably want these to come before the color. I'm just sort of torn on how to show all of these with these. I mean, some of these suck. Like these are more or less the same. This is the same as kind of the same idea. It's like this is like identical. I think I might just reverse these out for the sake of clarity. Or use maybe just like a middle gray. Because these are just like secondary, so maybe it's just like de-emphasized a little bit. I don't know if I like the grid either. Let's think about this presentation. But basically this, it gets shelved here anyways. This is just stupid. Actually, this is the large size. This guy. I got that. This I don't think I've ever used anywhere. I used to have like the plus minus. It's like pays homage to photography and exposure. It's also like more or less. It's like the Spanish like más o menos. I don't even know if that's the correct way of thinking about that or saying that, but I'm sticking to it. That's my story. Yeah, so all this is a little lower contrast as if like a way to kind of downplay it a little bit. These are pretty much the same. I don't. This can go. This. But this is one that I do want to keep for sure. I'll probably move it here. Just because I see it as a. These badges can be like the bottom row, and I think I want to develop like a new one. Kind of plays off the same design language. Just do that now. Can you please? Oh, how am I doing that? So this is all. I can feel. So I have my air conditioning going here, but I can feel the heat coming from my Mac, which is now underneath my. That's why this is all a new feeling. Wow. So wow. Guess Thursdays are pretty sleepy. Sleepy stream, or no one gives a fuck about branding. I don't fault you either. Let me make sure I'm not gonna get EMCA'd. Again, if you're on Twitch and you want to listen to the same playlist, exclamation point. Sorry, playlist. Or exclamation commands will give you all the commands that are available. Not on YouTube. Doesn't have a bot as far as I know. +1 for Twitch. Oh yeah, I didn't check to see if I was. Okay, good. Not on the stream. You Gucci. I almost feel like I want another. I don't want 50, but I probably want another shade of gray. And so that's like where this system kind of breaks. What's my current? So this is my global. I also have multiple accent colors. Forgot about that. I have on white, dark alt, middle gray, light gray, off white, on white. Don't forget your trademark on off white. In case Virgil's watching. It's too busy putting air quotes or quotes on shit, making fucking billions of dollars doing it. God damn. I can't be mad. Dude fucking made the most of it. That's how easy it is sometimes. Just slap some fucking quotes on something and be overt about it. I mean, it's a simple idea, but it's just like I don't know what to do with this. I guess white. But having like I guess the conviction to just do it. So that a lot of people are like, no, that's dumb. Probably me saying it, but people loved it. I don't know. Good on him though. I don't sound like a diabolical hater, but ah, I think I'm just gonna start trimming these down. This is just dumb. You can go. These are useless. Who the fuck needs to know about that? See you later. I think badging. I'm not no longer an LLC. Don't sue me. That's just useless. Dude, there's something about this that I like. I don't really need that. Great. Cut it down. Really have broken the layout, as I'm prone to do. I'll think through the presentation later. Gotta be a better way to do that. Oh, I can't spell, so I'm just gonna call it colors. Oh, I actually need this in line with the explanation. I feel like this could go in between. Organize this properly. It's one group, one group. Logo breakdown. Where is that something like prefaces it? Bothers me. It'd be good to show like explorations. I think I have some. So part of what I want to do is just figure out the hell the story is I'm trying to tell. Because I gotta check something fast. Checking something. Okay. All good. What am I? I was both unsure if I had Unmuted my mic or if I was still showing the right window. Uh, so this is the branding section. I'll keep it separate. I need to think about how I want to export this too for different case studies. I don't know how I'm going to do it on my site. Like, this is going to be kind of... I definitely don't want to rebuild this in code. Oh. Sounds nice in theory, but hard pass. Oh, so just for reference, I have everything still in this brand overview tab. This is where it all... Oh my god. This is where it all started. It's like all these type specs and everything. Which I wonder if I just bring in the subtle flex of like, yeah, I put in my time. Yes. I don't know. Who the fuck cares though? I'm looking at it. People all display um their type in all sorts of different ways. Oh. Ooh. Wait a minute. I'm gonna scale this down a little bit. So instead of like resizing things in Sketch, I almost always scale. Just because it retains things like line height and see like when you scale. This might work just because it's all spacing based right now. It didn't break anything. Like if you scale down, look out, man. You're gonna have some shit. Um, that's some sort of type spec. I was gonna show like a marquee of like a panagram, which is, so if you don't know, is it? It is panagram. Panagram. Define panagram. Pangram. Pangram. Unsophisticated, uncultured American. Mind me. A sentence or verse that contains all the letters of the alphabet. So, pack my bag with 5 dozen liquor jugs. Has every letter, and it's every bit as stupid as I wish it would be. That was one of the happiest days when you can search for like all the available pangrams, and that was one of them. Hmm. Not gonna lie, kind of lit up a little bit. Goddamn. Someone out there's looking out for me and speaking my language. Oh, yeah, my girlfriend's got, I mean, she may have been the one who gave me this cold or whatever it is. She might have a sinus infection. She's getting the worst of it. No. Bueno. I'm thinking about this story. The only thing I'm not sure of is um, where does this fit in? Where I talk about this instance and sort of like some of the responsive elements. Seems like it might fit in here. Because it's like talking, like it's showing like, oh, that's why. It's the old pangram going wide. Oh, wait, that's... Jump this down. So I'm also thinking about this through the lens of like a Behance. Like if I'm going to do a Behance case study, which seems likely because I have nothing on Behance. That's where a lot of branding projects go. If I can have these as individual blocks that I can just export out as like individual JPEGs, like my life is gonna be so much easier. Oh, and also, if you don't follow Circle, CERCLE on YouTube, they just come out with a new. They do like a DJ live set from all these crazy locations since the world. I think they were doing it before the pandemic, but they've really ramped them up during the pandemic to kind of keep artists like doing shows, give people something to enjoy at home. Um, it was Monolink from the Maldives. Pretty sick. I'm kind of partial because I love that corner of the world, but I don't know who doesn't. It's fucking beautiful there. Lambig, yo, what's good, man? I am cruising on some branding shit, on the verge of losing my voice. Um, Laterally. Yeah, I've been like squeaking all stream. It's great. It's been quiet. I don't think people. No one knows me for branding, so I don't think they give a shit about my branding efforts. I don't blame them. How are you doing, man? Way more important question right there. If that is, I don't know if I have a branding exploration. I have to see what I have. Originals, branding. Old. Oh. I forgot it. My old logo used to be like a lightning bolt. Oh. It's not that funny, it's just dying. Let's see if I can import this into Sketch. And do that like the old brand. That's how stupid it was. Yeah, there it was. Uh, it's a long story. My real last name, so hard to pronounce. This guy just pronounced it Flash, which is not even fucking close. And then so I always signed everything. It became my nickname, and then I started signing everything with like a lightning bolt emoji. And I was like, fuck, maybe I should make it my brand. I hope it sticks around. Just this is like a really dumb wild card, like kind of funny. Let's keep it around. In like like a low quality version too. Uh so that's what I forgot about that. So that was part of the thinking behind like the slash too, is like it's like a new take on the lightning bolt and it almost looks like one. So it's like what, the lightning bolt emoji. It's actually the other way around. But this is like what I use for like every Instagram post for like 3 years. It's just this Flash, because that was my nickname. How about that? Doing well, just chilling after work. Nice. Almost Friday. Almost made it. Canada, huh? Almost. Oh yeah, this is just all over the place. Is that, are you into that That shitty logo for the sticking around. I might just keep it around as like the retro shit. Anything I don't really want my name attached to. Just like being kind of sketchy. Uh, how am I so fucking stupid sometimes? It really blows my mind. So this is row one. No, don't do that. Oh man. That's row two for now. Where are you going? What is this? This is like, all right, what else is down here? Nothing? Okay. Cool, a mask. That's fun. I think I know what I'm doing sometimes. Now these are properly in rows, but they're not even on the grid, I know. I will get them right. This is not going to stay. If anything, it's going to get closer. Maybe they're all just going to expand out. I just don't even want to think about that. I'm not trying to refine right now. The day was for you doing your branding work. Yeah. I mean, if a dig was ever merited, this would be it. No, I was saying it earlier, like, I have some anxiety about coming on and doing branding work. Like everything I've done for myself for branding has just been winging the shit out of it. So now I'm like trying to institute some structure, um, which is gonna be a little painful. This is how I'm thinking about like gallery slides. If I just bring this in, I want to show the water concept. It may not make the most sense there, but I think for now it's a decent spot. I never got through. So the John Bolt. I should keep. John Bolt could have some staying power. I don't know, man. I don't know. I have to look at like applications. I have all my applications over here. Of course, if you're gonna use some like mock-ups on like a jacket, like one straight to the top and using acronym assets all day. Also was looking at like storefront stuff if I ever got a storefront, but this is all just like shitty renders. I'd love to just like jump into like Blender and work on something like that. That's a goal. That's definitely a stream at some point. So I have that there. I can delete that. I have to figure out what my type spec is. This is our. You know what? I should. Because of what I was saying with what's it called? Exporting. I want to start thinking about these as individual reports. I have like the intro or less. This will have here. This will have here. In between, yeah, yeah. It kind of makes sense as a story. If I don't know if I have enough, I don't have enough like explorations. I don't know where all those old files are. I'm trying to look through my old folders. Oh, I forgot I made package. I can fire this up. I thought about doing like it probably would show some like old branding. I don't think I've updated this in a long time. I used to have like all caps, tracked out serif fonts. If I can find a business card. I paid a shitload of money for business cards. Yeah, this is if you want to look at like the old brand. There you go. And like that sort of type off the bottom goes into like this really weird. I don't think I can even focus on that. I remember doing it and like the printer was like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Yeah. But they're like really thick cardstock. They've got painted edges. They're all black. They've got like so the way I used to do my I'm losing my voice. This could be bad. Um they used to have like the way I used to do links on my website, it was like a line, it was like a line through. And so my way of keeping to that was like all these links on here had like a pressed line through it. Really stupid. Yeah, I've got like 1,000 of them. Now like I'm like here. If I ever need like a doorstop or something, I feel like I'm just gonna tape them together. Maybe like a paperweight. Gotta be something you can do with like old business cards. Besides give them to people when they look like this. Storefronts are easy. Start with a plain extrude, move, repeat. Click on plane you want to be window, inset, extrude back. Need a separate selection. Boom, done. Damn, dude. Making that sound way too fucking easy. I get my shit together. I mean, it does seem really simple. The part like I just cannot get over the hurdle of just like modifying geometry. I don't know what it is. So this is the old. Yeah, I think there's like serif in here and shit. But this is gonna be like the mock-up for prints. Like I was gonna look at buying tubes, doing all the matting, having like a card of authenticity with it. This is when I thought people bought prints. It's good for comedy. Bring a little tonality to it. But yeah, like modifying geometry. I don't know, for some reason. And I don't quite have like all the selecting parameters down. Um, how you can do like cut-ins by extruding. And I can't remember. For some reason, like there's like little hurdles like that which have kept me from going back, which is really dumb because it's like all these mock-ups, like thinking about actual lighting and stuff like that, it would be so much easier to do in 3D if I could just like put the time and understand the basics, but I just have like such a laundry list of things. Just a shitty excuse, I know. Okay, scrap this. All right, we're cleaning up, making sense of this shitstorm. Getting through like the brand fundamentals. Um, and so what I think is going to be interesting, I'm not quite there yet, but getting into like all the motion elements, like as a language, how do I define that? How do I define like the auditory language, which I got sent this rad plugin, but oh, my audio just cut out, so I don't know what that meant. think I'm alright. Yeah, this like audio plugin for doing all these like soundscape type shit. But they have this be back in a bit. All right, man. I should oh, I should be here if my voice doesn't keep cracking and be so painful to listen to. Maybe I'll do 3D later. Do a storefront. If I can. Also, I'm not showing. Shit. Where's where on my iPad at? Brain's not working. Doesn't. Where's that window's going? That's wild. It keeps like a cache of closed windows. Hmm. But that's oh, here we go. So it's this. This is gonna be, I think, if I can ever get it installed, because so the controlling app for native instruments called Native Access, it won't even start up on my computer. I don't know why, but this is like right up my alley.
After the fall.
Oh no, this is their stupid like promo. What about that? Cache light. So. Oh, yeah, the introducing is like this weird.
Welcome to a walkthrough of Ashlight, our new instrument for immersive cinematic atmospheres and rhythmic textures.
This is more my
Ashlight is all about dark, suspenseful moods and how you can perform sound in real
It
time.
won't be that dramatic, though, I promise.
Ashlight explores a dark realm of cinematic styles and complements its siblings Straylight and Farlight with a tougher, more rhythmic palette. Serving this purpose, we recorded
my audio's
metal,
gonna
carbon, ceramics, glass, and much
It'll
more.
be somewhere
to
between
create
this
the
and like
base for
Lauren-ish
Ashlight's
type
immersive
stuff. But
textures.
yeah, I don't know where that was starting from in terms of. I think it was. I have to like track back where my brain started sometimes. Yeah, doing like the 3D. No. Yeah, just I'm gonna try. A short circuit happened somewhere. My voice is going quick. I don't know if this is gonna. That or I might talk less. I don't know. Might be saying thank you. Okay, broader story. So I want this after all the applications. I feel like I need to do the traditional lines and safe space type shit. I don't know if this is gonna work. It's all off the W. That's okay. Easy. And if I'm being entirely honest, I don't know the benefit of doing this. Like, if I want to speak to branding people, I gotta speak their language. Oh. Showing the fact that I considered angles. I guess in designing my font? I don't really know. Oh, I remember that. This was here. So this is supposed to show the fact that this line comes back to complete the W. It doesn't anymore. But that's actually not a good thing. Probably shouldn't show it. Yeah, we can do. Um, feel like the more lines, the more legitimate your logo is. So maybe this is my satire when it comes to developing this thing. The thing that sucks is like you can't easily do. I guess you can. It's not as easy than Photoshop to create patterns. If you want to do like safe space and like all like the hashed out, it's not that easy to do. You can definitely do it. That's for sure. It's still not centered, is it? Um, but yeah, I'll do the safe space rule. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one who didn't know. But if you want to do like masking out, if you only want a certain area to show, what you do is you start with like the full canvas area and then you subtract the front shape and then you make your mask out of that. I thought about that. I love like how modifiable um, the combined shapes are. You can just go back in and break them apart, modify them individually. Kind of gets a little messy sometimes, but I like it. So now, like with this, I can just go back in and yeah, modify final shape individually. It's all yeah, I'll add some more. Do that. And get rid of that now. I don't know what the thinking was with this. Kind of like a brand lockup. It may be like the lead-in intro, potentially. I don't know. I think I need to start organizing these in columns, just so I can track kind of what the broader story is. And start incorporating these title cards. Again, FPO for now, but at least I know like, okay, this block is this part of the story is for it's for core elements or brand elements. So logo, breakdown of the logo, responsiveness of the logo, alternate versions of it, color palette. I really don't know how to preface this. This is kind of like this is like somewhere in the middle of like an execution and which or application, which I think goes with all this stuff, or um, like within the core elements, but it's not. I really don't know how to think about it. Maybe it doesn't need. I feel like it needs an explanation. But it's just so out of line, and it's only for part of it, so it's not like. Yeah, if all of these were having that sort of distortion to it, maybe that's something worth talking about. And maybe I don't know. Maybe it's something I look at. Sorry. Dying a slow death. Yeah, how I convey emotion is going to be really interesting. When I say interesting, I only mean that because I have no idea what the fuck I'm going to do. That's sort of interesting. And so, like, for me, my brain just needs these mental cues of like organization, like where everything's mapped out, why are these grouped together, apparel, storefront, prints. This is. Oh, this goes. See, then what's the difference between results and application? Um, almost like it's online. There's gotta be a good word for it. It's not like swag. Collateral. Not really. This is almost like. What would be the right word for this? This is almost like applications. So, and not being collateral. Yeah. This is showing like Instagram, editorial, business cards. All stuff I haven't really shown because I've never been sold on anything. I've talked about the Insta stories stuff. I mean, there's a lot there. There's so much to unpack from like where everything is or like how everything lives. Um, oh, and there's a point. Where is it? So there's more stuff. Oh, where'd it go? Son of a bitch, where is that? So I had this whole like chart. Oh. Wait, was there hold? Wait, is there a way to access like old like time machine? Sketch. Um, I thought there was a way to like with auto save it saved out all these different versions. Yeah, but that sucks. I had like drawn a chart. Maybe I just do save as. Because I think it's important to show. Where is all my? Oh, it's down here. These are like the sub brands. So breaking down like I don't think anyone's ever understood. Fuck, I was thinking with all this stuff. There's so much no ISO stuff. And I'm such a pack rat too. Like I'm holding on to most of this stuff. Like that's like it's been a long time since I put stuff out, but I can promise you, like I've been working. I'm always working on something. Um, yeah, I'm looking at some of these old. Yeah, some of these old applications of the brand are kind of nice. I mean, this is a screenshot of code. This is what it looked like in that in Webflow. Plus with the camera shake, all it needed was a little flicker and it was good to go. So, but I don't talk about myself as an art director and photographer anymore, so it's kind of have to vary that. Oh yeah, then this is a screenshot of code, but this is when I built the display in code, and I didn't set a max height, so sometimes you get these like really weird aspect ratio screens. It's kind of funny. I have like some of the stuff I forgot about. There's like Behance templates. Kind of miss. I should post some of this stuff. Yeah, I realize you can't see it right now. Yeah, I have all these mock-ups too, which I really need to replace with 3D renders. Business cards. Oh, I found the old business cards I was showing. This can go away. So much stuff. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think through this stuff. Like what all I show in terms of like my brand, how do I tell the story? Like obviously website, obviously business cards, books, um, social posts. Um, it's just gonna be so much. Like I have to, I feel like I only show one screen of the web, or I make like a carousel and I just start showing like multiple pages. I don't know. That's gonna take some figuring out. That's a really strange carousel size. These I don't really know where those go. This this is what I was thinking for over here. That's right, I took a screenshot. That's how lazy it was. Contrast a little bit. So just like having like some marquee brand image. I don't know what that is, but I definitely will need to sort that out. But I think the story is starting to come together a little bit more in terms of like wrapping my head around it. I'm gonna need a title. This has not been used anywhere. But this is like kind of prepping my mind to think about like all the motion sound design that I'm going to be doing. I keep on like jumping into Ableton too and trying to like write like an intro for pre-made videos and the stream, and it's has not gone too well. So I'm gonna keep trying off stream. There's no way you're gonna get me to do that on stream. Um, but I actually might need to jump off. Um, my voice is garbage right now, and I think I might need to jump on a phone call. Um, maybe come back later. We'll see. Um, maybe do some photos. It's just so bright during the day. I don't know. And all this talking, my voice is just like squeaking. So I don't know. Maybe that's just like people tuning in, like, oh, sounds like nails on a chalkboard right now. Um, just had another thought. I think I was thinking about thinking, and I think I got an idea. So like if I need to break this down into like design and then auditory, or no, like motion, and then have another chapter on sound. So I hate to say it, but like this is also like it's like my perception of a brand and like what I think it takes to properly brand someone, something, and whether or not this is doing a good job, that's totally independent, but this is how I see branding, how deep it goes. And like I think having sound design that feels in line with everything, like it's all super important. And I don't think it's anything that crazy, but being able to own this stuff myself, I think will be kind of a nice thing. Like so again, like if I'm targeting mid to small to mid-sized businesses who don't want to afford like a big agency, but just like want to give me the reins to run things, like here, because I literally don't have any other examples of branding. And so, and even my old boss used to like joke because oh dying. Um, he used to like give me shit of like almost make fun of me for like the lack of branding. Like, John doesn't know how to do branding. Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience in it. I was always just doing like interactive, and I did a lot of art direction, which would kind of tippy toe into rebrands and stuff like that. But have I done like a brand book? Not really. So here we go. And then I mean, there's another like sub brand I'm working on. I don't know if I mentioned it on stream at all. Um, a product me and my girlfriend are going to get into. And it's more or less going to be like a branding exercise. Like it's going to be a good product. Um, but curious to see what we can do with the right. So she's a creative brand strategist, and like with her brand strategy and my design and branding, what can we do with it? So that'll be another branding experience, which I don't know. I think it'd be really fun to do that on stream from scratch once I get this sorted out. We're going back and forth on names, so I at least want to have a name figured out. Um, but it's a very different feel. It's appealing to a very different market than me, more like a high end. Um, I don't know. We don't have our like target demo yet. I think it's like probably 27 to 40 is our target range. Um, I think I mentioned it, might as well. Like we're looking at selling candles. So it's one of those things where it's like I don't really care about candles. I appreciate good candles, and I know someone who makes candles who will let us white label really good candles. But it's gonna be more about like the branding we put around it, um, as an exercise to see like what happens. And for me, like at worst case scenario, I get a bunch of great smelling candles, and I have a branding experience I can point to. Um, at best, it turns into something, and we can expand our product line. And then, I mean, that's how like it's funny. You see a lot of these brands now popping up. Um, like all these people. I mean, it's been recent too, like the pandemic pushing people into areas that they, um, like they're finally just getting the motivation to go out and do what they've always been passionate about. Finding like attorneys are starting to bake and stuff like that. It's just like, the fuck didn't you guys do this earlier? Like people are really good at all this shit they really care about. Um, I don't know. So it's been kind of nice to see. And yeah, so we're gonna do that. That'll be another branding thing I'll get into. Um, I still have the motion stuff. I just think it's in like a grind phase, and my brain's a little fried. So I might do the rest off stream. But if you have anything you want to see, let me know. Again, my voice is kind of toasted right now. Um, apparently some sort of sinus infection of some sort. Um, not COVID. That's good. Um, But yeah, let me know, like, if this is of interest, like, definitely, like the video. Leave a comment if you want. And I did also start test recording some of those, like, short videos I was talking about. I feel like I'm always just talking about the same shit. Like, I'm gonna do it, but I'm actually gonna do it. I've actually started doing it. So, and that right there is probably why I need to stop. But yeah, thank you to everyone who tuned in. Pretty quiet today. I don't know if branding is really what people come to me for, so all good. But yeah, maybe back tonight. If my voice cooperates, I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully in the morning. So yeah, I will see you guys.